In today's video, I want to talk about maladaptive daydreaming. I have made a couple videos on my channel about maladaptive daydreaming, and a lot of the comments I receive are about people asking me advice about how to stop. And I've seen some of these videos online and the advice that people are giving around how to stop maladaptive daydreaming, and I'd like to offer a different approach. I am not in any way a psychologist or a therapist or a specialist in any way, but I have an quite alternative route that you may wish to try if you are struggling with maladaptive daydreaming. So what I can tell from the comments that I receive on my channel about people who do maladaptive daydreaming is normally they're highly imaginative, highly creative, and often some people will have maladaptive daydreams that are, all different every time, whereas others have ongoing worlds that they maladaptive daydream in. Sometimes over many months or many years, they have reoccurring characters and reoccurring scenarios. Whichever camp you're in, I would like to first off start by saying something which I don't think is really said enough when you're looking at this how to stop kind of content. If you are someone who is maladaptive daydreaming, I first of all want to give you a compliment. It might seem a bit strange, but I want to give you a compliment. You're likely highly imaginative. You're likely highly creative. And this is a great skill. It's a great quality to have. A lot of people in the world are not particularly imaginative, or they couldn't think up a whole scenario in their head. They couldn't have a narrative between multiple characters in their head. And I want to start off by saying this is quite a unique skill that you possess, and that in many ways, I wouldn't say you should be proud of it because I won't tell you what to do, but this is something lovable. This is a lovable quality, and it's a quality that you can use to your advantage, and I will get to that in a moment. But I want to start off by saying, if you're someone who's maladaptive daydreaming, you're not bad or broken in any way, and you have a great capacity to imagine things up, but it's just perhaps not being used in a way that currently feels productive in your life. So I'll take a small, what feels like a tangent for a moment, but I want to talk about the concept of lucid dreaming. Now, you may or may not know what that is. Lucid dreaming is when you go to sleep at night and you dream. There are some people, not everyone, and I can't do it, but some people can actually become aware that they're dreaming whilst they're dreaming and not wake up. and because they are aware that they're in a dream, they can then take control of that dream and they can kind of have fun, or they can fly, or they can do whatever they want within that dream. So why am I talking about lucid dreaming in a video about maladaptive daydreaming? Well, what I want to propose as an alternative approach to how do I stop maladaptive daydreaming and make it go away? I want to never do that again. An alternative approach would be what I'm going to call lucid maladaptive daydreaming. Now, I don't think that I am the first person to come up with this kind of thing, but it may be that no one has applied it quite so obviously onto the maladaptive daydreaming situation. So what I propose is, like how the dreamer becomes aware that they're dreaming and then take control of the dream and use it to their advantage, I'm proposing that you learn to become aware that you are daydreaming and stay in the daydream and use that daydream to your advantage. I'm going to explain a bit more what I mean by that now. I want to talk, first of all, there is a famous psychologist who is called Carl Jung, and he talks about something called active imagination. And for him, active imagination was something that he did over the course of his life. He had characters and inner figures that existed in his mind that he would deliberately set aside time to talk to those inner characters. And he took them quite seriously, and he would actually write down and draw the different conversations and experiences he had with those characters in a book, which is called The Red Book, that you could go and look at if you wanted. What I'm proposing may be a little similar to active imagination, But I believe if you're maladaptive daydreaming and you have these scenarios and these characters going on in your head, you may already be halfway there to doing active imagination, which is a psychological processing tool to learn more about yourself and the world. A lot of people may well be envious of the situation that you find yourself in where you have these characters. So this lucid maladaptive daydreaming, the approach I'm suggesting is that as you're daydreaming, as long as you're in a safe situation, you're not flying a plane or something, I'm suggesting rather than being taken along with the stream of the daydream, like, oh, I wonder where me and my daydream characters will go today, at some point become aware, like the lucid dreamer, oh, I'm doing a daydream again. And rather than going, oh, snap out of it, this isn't healthy, this isn't good, I shouldn't be doing this, oh my God, I'm doing the daydream again. Just try to be like, okay, I'm in the daydream. I'm aware I'm in the daydream. And maybe it will take, I'm not saying you can do this all in one session. It may be many, many times that you need to practice this. But my suggestion would be at some point becoming able to actively and consciously engage with your daydream characters or your daydream scenario. And what that looks like for you, I wouldn't want to give you, because I don't know, I'm not a professional, I wouldn't want to give you any prescribed list of questions or activities you could try, but I can imagine 2 or 3 kind of flavors of things you could do. And it will depend on whether you're engaging with reoccurring characters who you've known for years or whether they're different every time. But you could, in your lucid daydream, ask people, your characters in your daydream, like, why do you think I'm here? What do you want to tell me? What do you want to teach me? What do you think is special about our relationship? And just try to see whether these characters who are coming from your mind, whether they have something to tell you, and whether eventually, over many sessions, they can actually reveal more to you about why you're doing the daydream. And actually, depending again on the types of characters that you have, you may be able to ask them advice for how they think you should stop doing the maladaptive daydreaming. I want to be clear at this point that when I say stop the maladaptive daydreaming, I mean stop the maladaptive aspect of it. Maladaptive means it's maladaptive. What does that mean? That it's getting in the way. It's you feel out of control of it. It's affecting your ability to function in the world. I think that the daydreaming element you may not wish to get rid of completely. Carl Jung, for example, his characters in his mind, his different personalities, it was a lifelong relationship. So rather than going for this all or nothing approach, this kind of, oh, I must stop the daydream completely. Like, if these are characters that you've been engaging with for many, many years, that in many ways you like them and you enjoy it, then saying you can never go back there seems for me, a bit harsh. And I also think on this kind of approach, any approach that encourages you to dislike or shut off parts of yourself is not going to be an overall long-term healthy approach. So if your approach is maladaptive daydreaming is bad and it's bad to do that and you're broken and every time you start to daydream you think, oh, what a failure I am. This is all like self-hatred. And there have been studies around this kind of thing. I think in particular that there have been studies around losing weight, about whether shame helps people lose weight in the long term or not. And as far as I'm aware, it doesn't. It's actually loving and caring for yourself and nurturing yourself and appreciating yourself, which helps you to take care of yourself. So any kind of approach which is like, oh, I'm such a loser for this maladaptive daydreaming. Oh, I wish I could make this stop. No one else does this. I'm broken. That's not going to work. You need to think, thank you, brain, for presenting these characters and these scenarios to me, who are giving me an opportunity to learn more about who I am and what I need in my life. This is a great sort of survival coping insight mechanism that your brain has made up. Isn't this wonderful? Isn't your brain clever? But we just need to put it within some safe boundaries where you're actively engaging with it. You're making the decision. I'm happy to be daydreaming right now. I'm going to actively talk to these characters, and then maybe I'm going to write it down. So this is something I'm doing deliberately and consciously to learn about myself. So you're not trying to make it go away. You're trying to engage with it positively, in a way that you're in control of and you're happy with. So these other types of questions that you might want to ask, if it's not really possible, every time you sort of say, why am I here? What do you want to talk to me about? If that kind of, it doesn't work with your daydream. Another approach that you could take would be kind of pretending, like, I don't know, so if you're, I'm daydreaming, I'm in a coffee shop with these friends that I have, and one of the friends is a very caring, sort of motherly type figure for me or something. You might ask that lovely, caring, motherly figure that you've created in your mind, how wonderful for you. I would access that figure, and you could say something like, a friend of mine is struggling with maladaptive daydreaming. What types of advice would you give them? Or I just think there's so much possibility here for making use of these wonderful characters you've created. So if you do this experiment of lucid maladaptive daydreaming, which I hope would eventually become lucid daydreaming, which is essentially active imagination, which somebody already came up with, so I'm not the creator of this. He did do that over a lifetime. So again, this is accepting, this is going to be part of your life. It's a special tool that you have. It's a great gift that you have. Please do share in the comments if you try this. What kind of questions worked for you? Do you have any tips for managing to stay in the daydream when you're doing it? It would be great for the comment section to be a place where people can help each other on this journey. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, you can leave them below.